them are dead now. They took the other road. I took the right turn, they took the left turn, but they're still my blood. And I'll never forget. You go before the judge after you committed the crime. Judge says to you, I find you guilty. He can find you guilty without parole, he can give you life. When I was coming through, they could take your life. They had another sentence that would say, life with the possibility of parole. Judge would say to you and your attorney and your family, which do you plead? I plead guilty with the possibility of parole. Go into these institutions all over this state. And the criteria says if you meet these protocols, if you do A, B, C, D, E, keep your nose clean, you fulfill these requirements, you're parole eligible, and you go before a board that's appointed by the government. And they do the vetting, and they determine you have successfully navigated A, B, C, D, E. We recommend you're eligible for parole. Maryland is one of 3 states that has an arbiter, has a person to stand behind and say, wait a minute, I have the final say because I'm the governor. This was instituted years ago when elected officials and governors were trying to show that they were hard on crime. And one governor, when I got down here in '94, Paris Glendenning from Prince George's County, life means life. I may be from Prince George's County, but I'm a Democrat, and I'm going to show the Republicans and the Tea Party and everybody how tough I am on crime. Life means life. If you're in there, forget it. I don't want to hear it. Oh, my goodness. Did we have some battle with him? Then he was succeeded by a Republican governor. I thought I was going to get the same thing. I and my little lieutenants walked in there with him with a bill, and he was a bit more understanding. Robert Early was a bit understanding. He really looked at it, vetted the process, came up with some ways in which a few people got some justice. He was only there 4 years, and then comes my good friend from Baltimore City, Martin O'Malley, city councilman, governor, won't be president. I think he has something next week. We're going to talk about that. He came in, McFadden, life means life. When they look at my report card, if I ever get to be the president of the United States and governor, see how hard I am on him. And I said, my friend, I said, man, come on, Governor, now we can do better than this. There's retribution. In your church, you talk about it. You talk about following the rules and redemption. Come on, somebody better say, man, come on, you give them a pay. When you fulfill all that you're supposed to do. And so we put in several pieces of legislation where we just keep chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. Now we have Governor Hogan. He's being advised by former Senator Getty. Getty was instrumental with Early in really looking at these policies. So Joe Getty and I have been working together on some things very quietly. And I want to approach this governor. But folks, it's about time. Maryland is one of 3 states, 47 other states. I don't care if they're Republican, Democrat, red, blue, purple, green, whatever. They're in the South, they're in the Midwest, they're everywhere. Only 3. Maryland, a progressive state like we are one of the 3 where we still play politics with justice. That's wrong. That is absolutely and categorically wrong. Doesn't have anything to do with your party or anything else. Your word is your bond. And if the state of Maryland says to a person, standing in front of them, that you have life with the possibility of parole, and you execute that, no one, in my opinion, has the right at the end of the day to say, I'm going to play politics and say no. That is the essence of Senate Bill 111. You say what you mean and you mean what you say. Your word is your bond. Just like you had to spank your children if you did. Oh, I did now, and I got many of them. I'll brought you here. I will take you out. It's your little red wagon, push it. Am I right? You start smelling yourself, I knock you down. Oh, I heard it all. And some of us listened and some of us didn't. And some of us found ourselves in a position to help our lesser and those who have not been treated equitably. We give second chances in this world to everybody. And unfortunately, for some in our society, and some who come from communities that I serve, that I grew up in, there's disparate treatment. And in this instance, I think it is. Some folks are sitting over there, people talk about coming out doing a crime. They've been there forever. The prior speaker was talking about it, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I got older and I recognized that. Old folks used to give us advice, boy, don't take your blank, blank, blank over there. Some people didn't listen, took their blank, blank, can't say they were on all this stuff, come all over anyway. Folks, that's the bill. We have 3 panels. Panels made up of conservatives, liberals, Republicans, Democrats, former law enforcement officials. I just wish I could get Paris Glendenning back in here, because he wanted to rethink his position. Martin O'Malley, we had some discussions. Yeah, we had some discussions. You know. Good. It's redemption in there too. You can come back and say you were wrong. And we shouldn't play politics with people who we've given a charge to do certain things. Mr. Chairman, I'm ready for questions. Take my poor little seat over here.
Thank you,
Try to
Senator.
get out here a reasonable time.
I think Reverend Muse would like to give you an amen also. Senator Muse?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate that when he said amen, I immediately said amen because the senator was also my vice principal in high school. And so I still have this whenever he says, you know, Muse, go over here, I don't care what your title is, I just say, yes, sir, and I just walk over. My immediate response was, amen, just because he said say.
He's so wonderful.
And I appreciate it.
No, can I say, he's telling me he was one of my students
That's
at
right.
Southwestern Senior High School,
That's right.
along with my pastor, Reverend Dante Hick of the Southern Baptist Church. And they were 2 of the baddest, can I use one bad word?
Senator, you can do whatever you want.
And I was the gatekeeper, but look at what God has done. Look at that.
I wasn't going to tell that part, but and what you're saying is absolutely right. I think if I got the essence of this bill right, it's just that one person, and it's not about politics, it's not about, it's about one person having the power to change a life completely, and that should be. We have a parole board in place, and that parole board, they are probably more knowledgeable of the individuals who are coming forward. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Would you agree that if they're coming forward and they are familiar with the cases, that they should make the decision rather than a governor who would probably have spent no time? And that's not a bad thing. It's just the truth because their duties are so multifaceted. They wouldn't have time to spend time on every individual case, and it's probably better to have that parole board make the determination. But I want to ask you another question, and it was a idea that came up. It wasn't my idea. I just like to surround myself with smart people so I can get some good ideas. We say life, and then we say life without parole. Maybe we should also, in the future, be looking at changing that designation. Because when you say life without parole, basically we're talking about somebody who feels that they will serve 15 to 20 years in jail. And maybe it would be good at some point to talk about removing that category of life without parole and just make it 20 25 years and then beyond that, or 30 years, and then go to life. Because people get it mixed up. Life means life, but life with parole means life, you know, with the possibility of parole. So there are a number of ways of attaching this, and smarter people than I am will help us with this. I think it's a good bill. I think it's a good. So I thank you very much. My Vice Principal, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senator. And yes, the parole board, and by the way, it's appointed by whom? The governor. So again, 47 other states can get it right, and they're no smarter than Maryland. We can do the same thing.
Thank you, Senator, for your testimony, and a pleasure to have you down here.
Thank you, Chairman.
Reverend Shahinian.